Installation of Ultrastrand is a three-step process. First of all, you place the Ultrastrand on the client's head, and I've attached it there with some temporary beads. Then you're going to pull the client's hair through the volumizer, and then finally you are then going to attach it either using the link method or the beads. The starting point of the InvisiLink method is exactly the same as if you were doing the InvisiKnot or even the beads. So you'd want to secure the volumizer on your client's head in the usual way, using your temporary beads in the front, at the back, and at the two sides as well, as you can see. So there is no difference in the actual starting point. The only thing that I will say is that with the InvisiLink method, you've got to make sure you pull all the client's hair through the volumizer before you start the attachment. With the other methods, you can actually pull a certain amount of hair through and then do the attachment and then pull the hair through as you're going along. With the InvisiLink method, you've got to make sure you pull all the client's hair through the volumizer and then you start the attachment. The way we do the attachment is you take from the center portion, so just after you have placed your first bead, so your first bead generally goes in the front, directly in the middle of the client's head, and you're going to start the attachment just to the left of that, all the way to the bead that you have at the side, and you're going to do that on the other side as well. And then after you've done that, you will then start all the way from that bead all the way to the back, and you take it to the second section where you go all the way from the bead on that side all the way to the back. And essentially that is the installation process. For the method, you will need on average 4 needles and 4 threads. I always say prepare your needles first so that you're not having to stop and start and thread your needle. Once you've pulled the client's hair through the volumizer, you want to literally take all of the hair that is in the volumizer and put it in a bubble or use a clip to get it out of the way. And all that should be left is the circumference, i.e. the edge of the volumizer. That's the only thing that you should then be able to see. So I'm just going to use my tool just so that you can see that is the edge of the volumizer there. And we're going to start to work on this basis. When pulling the hair through, it's important that you get all the hair from underneath the volumizer through the holes. Usually, when you're working with a client who's got sparse hair on top, there is not that much hair to go through. The size of the holes is dependent on the amount of hair the client has. So the more hair the client has, the larger the holes, and the less hair the client has, the smaller the holes. There are a number of ways in which the volumizer can be attached. The invisible thread is one method. Generally, the invisible thread is used for clients that cannot use the beads, whether they have got an allergy or they're going for an MRI, or if you're trying to get a very invisible look, usually at the front. When using the invisible thread method, it generally takes longer than using the beads. And in some instances, clients do have to return more often simply because the thread is made from nylon and can be prone to slippage. The more popular method is using beads. In this instance, I'm using a tool to attach the bead onto the hair. Once Ultrastrand is installed, the client's hair is intertwined with the volumizer. As you can see, it is the combination of the hair on the volumizer plus the client's hair that gives the overall volume. With Ultrastrands, because of the holes, it means that the client's scalp can breathe, and it makes it a healthier option for clients that do have hair and are just looking to have more volume. With Ultrastrands, it is versatile. It can be styled in any way. And even it can be styled off the hair if the client has got a good hairline. The beauty about Ultrastrands is that it looks natural.